Jim Romer on this October 19th through the 22nd. We have a stronger La Nina developing than many models and other experts predicted over the last couple of months. It's not an El Nino Modi Kai, it's not an east-based La Nina, but look at the cooler waters expanding to the west. Those trade winds you see, the arrows are actually cooling things off in the central and western Pacific as well. It's having some big implications. It's producing a warm late fall. We're on top of the natural gas market, recommending the clients back in early October the sell call options. It's also easing the drought in South America, and there's been some big moves, for example, in sugar we'll talk about here today in the last few days. Here is typically what happens with La Nina. You have cold snaps during the November through January period in the northern plains up across New England and Canada, but generally most of the southern half of the country is warmer than normal and some cold snaps in Europe and Asia. But you have to take into effect climate change. You have to take into effect what's called the Pacific Decadal Oscillation Index, what's happening over the Arctic Circle. Could we have some cold snaps? Certainly can during the course of the winter. But right now, overall, into November, it's warmer than normal initially. La Nina does not necessarily cause droughts in Brazil in the northern areas like some people thought last year. It's actually Argentina and southern Brazil that have problems potentially with their corn and soybean crops over the next few months. Northern Brazil during strong La Ninas tends to have wetter conditions, something we saw about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Look at the blue over California. Going to be a lot of moisture probably this winter, and drought easing rains in some areas actually beginning next week. Analog years on your left are some of our favorite analog years for this winter, based upon what's going over Antarctica, what's going on over in the Atlantic, south of West Africa, and also more moderate to strong La Ninas. For example, the tropical South Atlantic, warmer than normal, red, you see here, sorry, I'm kind of in the screen here. The tropical South Atlantic, the red signal you see, has been responsible for increased convection and upward vertical motion, and that has been easing the drought conditions this last 7 to 10 days. Look at this, getting out of the way here, there we go. The blue and green area, well above normal rainfall over Brazil's sugar and orange juice and coffee areas. Coffee crops been damaged already by frost and droughts over the last year. How do you trade this stuff, though? We have option strategies on a longer-term forecast and also recently became bearish sugar. As you can see, we told clients early on this week that we thought the drought in Brazil may begin to break and cause a leg down in sugar after our bullish attitude. Look at that last summer based on frost and also droughts in Brazil. What will happen with the sugar longer term? You have to stay tuned. Hopefully maybe get one of my free issues of Climate Intelligence, my monthly newsletter. I also have a twice weekly newsletter called Weather Wealth with soybean and corn farmers from Australia to Brazil to natural gas traders in the Gulf and novice ETF investors that I give trading strategies to, as well as long-range forecasts in many, many countries around the world. Get ready for the first big snow of the season around the 26th to 28th of October, typical of La Nina during late October. Look at this huge blue and white storm that's going to ease some of the drought conditions out in California, the Pacific Northwest. Certainly was a scorching hot summer. We saw a lot of utility companies switched over to natural gas. One of the reasons for the bull market in natural gas last summer because of no hydropower. Again, we need a lot more than 1 or 2 storms to break the drought out west, but feet of snow is going to fall in parts of the Cascades next week and the northern Sierras of California. Going to be a wild winter in many markets, as well as far as the ski season goes. It could be a really great ski season at the beginning of this winter out west. Again, go to my website, bestweatherinc.com, download a free issue of Climate Intelligence, and learn how to trade commodities and what my longer range forecast is going to be based on La Nina for farmers all over the world and in multiple commodities from grains to coffee, cocoa, sugar, and natural gas over the next few months. Thank you.